Hi, I am so glad you're here, and I want to thank you for signing up for this training, and I look forward to being with you over the next 5 days and bringing you a lot of valuable information. MLM Science is a process and a philosophy of looking out for the team, your team, and the needs of the team, and so that others can succeed. My goal here is to share with you what I've learned and what I'm learning, so that you can go and benefit from it and help other people. I really believe that to be an entrepreneur, you need to be a lifelong learner. So as I learn, I'm excited and anxious to share it. The thing to remember is this isn't about you. It isn't about me. This is about the people that need our help. Zig Ziglar said that you can have anything that you want if you're willing to help enough people get what they want. So I think what we do is we focus on the needs of people and others by providing value and genuine help, and and I think the benefits and the return and the reward is residual. It kind of comes automatically. So over the next few days, I'm going to show you how to get qualified leads, and when I want to qualify that, when I say qualified leads, we're not just talking about leads, but people that are definitely looking for what you're selling or looking for your business. There are 5 steps to a sales funnel, and the first thing is that you need to find your target audience, or your ideal customer. So it's important that you're not out there just talking to everybody or every person that's got a pulse. And so we're going to avoid that, and we're going to talk about, and I'm going to teach you how to find your target audience, people that are looking for your business. And then you want to design a lead funnel to include value. So a lead funnel is I've got one drawn up here, is where people come in at the top. These are people that are interested or qualified to some level. And then as they go through this value funnel and they're continuing to get funneled, they'll come out down here at the narrowest end, and they will get, these will be your qualified leads. So you don't have to talk to 1,000 people to get 999 no's to find the one yes. I know that for every no we get, we're one step closer to a yes, but we don't need to do that. And hearing no is never comfortable, and you never get used to it. So why not talk to people that are definitely interested? So it makes the business a lot more pleasant. And then we also want to create the lead funnel using automation. So I'm going to show you how to automate this process to where people are going through the process of really qualifying or disqualifying themselves through their funnel process. And then we're going to capture traffic using a lead magnet or bait, something that attracts them in there. So you're here today because obviously you're interested in building an MLM or network marketing business, and you wanted to get this training, which I'm so glad you did, and it's my goal to make it as beneficial and valuable as possible, but that's why you're here. So we want to also learn how to close those people who complete your funnel. So the people that come through here that we're talking to that have qualified themselves, we want to close those people. We want to bring them into our organization or not, depending on that process, and we'll talk about that as well. These principles are more relevant today because high pressure sales don't work. And give you an example, high pressure sales will actually kill a deal. And I bought a new Dodge truck last year, and when I walked on the car lot, I was just kicking tires because I knew what I wanted. I've been specking this truck out, but I walked on a car lot, and there was this truck, and it was exactly what I had spec'd out 100 times on the website at Dodge. And so I'm standing there, I'm looking at it, and the salesman comes out, and he's automatically trying to sell me. He's not listening to me, what I want or what I need, and so as a result, he's looking at a sale because I already want this, and he's killing the deal because I'm feeling pressured. And so luckily, a sales manager was able to kind of catch on what's going on, and he saved the deal. But my point is simply this: you can have somebody there that wants what you have, but the minute that they start to feel pressure, you're gonna kill the deal. And people don't like being sold. People are looking for help today. And so when we're working in a very kind of traumatized, kind of a skittish type of market, people are very consumer savvy. They see a high pressure salesman coming a mile away. That just doesn't work. So we need to avoid that. And then the other thing is that there's a ton of competition out there on top of all of that. And so there's a ton of competition on the internet, and the internet continues to grow. And there's a 1,000 people out there that are selling the same thing that you are. So maybe you're in an MLM market or company and you sell a product. And so they probably have terms of service where you're allowed to do certain things or not. And then you go out and you got to be careful about how you present it. So maybe you show yourself using the product, or maybe you show yourself at the gym, or just kind of get yourself out there, which I admire that. But if you look at the next channel, there's people doing the same thing about the same product. And so how do you set yourself apart? So ask yourself, do you want to be going and doing the same thing that everybody else is doing? And I know the answer to that question is of course not. So you're probably wondering who I am. My name is Bill Reinecke, and this is a picture of me and my family on vacation. And I've been in internet marketing companies. I've been doing it for many, many years. I've had varied success. I believe in I believe in the industry. I believe in the marketing model. I don't agree with the marketing tactics that are out on the street. Never really have. But I find myself back in there because I believe that there is a better way. So most recently, I was in the company I'm in. I was in once already. I got out. Really didn't have the support there, and I got this idea that that's just it's just a product. I'll find it at the store. So I actually spent 2 years shopping, trying different products, trying to find something that was comparable, and I couldn't find it. So I'm really sold on the products that the company that I am with have. So when I came back in, I knew I wanted the product, but I also wanted to come in to build a business. So I called and reached out to corporate, and I said, it's been several years. I don't have a sponsor anymore. Can you hook me up with somebody that can help me build a business? And so they did, and I had heard the name, so I knew they weren't new. They'd been in the company for a long time. And they started out with the same old tactics. They coached me to go out and build a warm market list of all my friends, my family, people I worked with, my neighbors, everybody I knew. And so I said, I'm not doing that. And I'm a social worker by trade. That's what I went to school for. And so there's it's unethical for me to even consider a lot of the relationships I have, the majority of them, to have any kind of a secondary gain out of a relationship. So I said, I'm not doing it. They said, well, if you're talking to somebody, give me a 3-way call and I'll help you out. So I've already done that. And talking about high pressure sales, when I've put the third person on the phone, it's like I'm calling a closer in to close a deal. And it's like, no, that's not even comfortable for me, and I'm not putting anybody through that. So I have spent the last 2 years, year and a half, closer to 2, actually reverse engineering, studying the market, looking at what people are doing, getting on every mail list I can. And so what I'm going to share with you are the things that are working today, the things that I've learned, and I'm going to continue to share the things that I'm learning. So, I got into internet marketing, and it's really kind of where it started back in 2007. I was going to grad school back then, and I was more interested in internet marketing than I was school, and so my grades were starting to take a hit, so I had to make a choice. And I wasn't making any money, learning internet marketing at that time, so I decided to just hang it up and focus on school. So I was in a community working as a social worker about 6-7 years ago, and I heard this commercial over and over and over in my car when I'd be doing my notes or whatever, and about buying real estate with no money down. So I thought it finally got my interest. I called and I got into a funnel. It's where I really learned my first time going through a funnel, and I kind of like going through funnels and in experiencing that, just to learn from it. But anyway, I got into it all you know, as all in, and I realized as that the internet marketing piece came into it, I really didn't care about real estate. My heart wasn't in it. That's just not where I want to be, but I was really into internet marketing. So I've been an affiliate marketer. I know how to run traffic. I know, you know, I don't know it all, but I know enough to be able to do some things. And so I wanted to apply that to my multi-level marketing business. And the combination worked perfectly. So for me, it's two passions that come together as one. And so that's how I got here today. So the thing I want to talk about next is success is in the model. And part of MLM Science is the model, the process, and being able to duplicate that. So before we go any further, I want to talk about my promise to you. And my promise to you is that I'm not going to pitch my MLM business. That's not why I'm here. That's not the purpose of these trainings. The purpose of these trainings is purely to bring you value and to help you out, and that is my goal, and I hope I deliver. In fact, I hope I over-deliver. We are not going to talk about a warm market. You already know how I feel about a warm market. It doesn't work. I want you to maintain those relationships with your friends and family and those people you work with. Love them and help them, and don't bother them with your business because they're not interested. So we really want to focus on people who are, as I've already mentioned. You want to really learn to set yourself apart from the crowd, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you how to set yourself apart. I read this book, and I would recommend it to you. It's called The Blue Ocean Marketing, and it talks about a red ocean and a blue ocean. And the red ocean is the market, and when you hear people talk about a market share, you know, like a pie, there's only so much. It's kind of limited. It's you know, there's a scarcity about it, and so everybody's kind of in there and just kind of devouring each other, and that's why they call it the red market. A blue market is where you create a market outside of that. You create the market, and it's in a way of doing it that's something that complements the other market or the market at large. So you'll hear me talking about a blue ocean market, and that's where that comes from. Again, it's a great book. I really recommend it. And then, you know, the truth about MLM. I'm going to tell you that there's not going to be any hype here, and I won't. I don't want. You know, I get excited, and I hope you get excited, but it'll be around the facts and really what MLM is. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. It's work, and so if you're not willing to put in the work, you know, and then maybe, you know, I don't know if this is for you or not. And that's okay. But you know, a lot of people sell MLM on the premise that, you know, it's just kind of like you push button, you know, get a few people in, and the riches roll in. And I think that's one of the things that has done this industry a disservice and given it a black eye. It's definitely not the case, but it is a wonderful industry that you can build a business with limited overhead, much less than many other businesses, with a huge return on investment. So those possibilities are definitely there. And then we want to also remember that the only reason someone would want to be would ever join you. So the only reason that they would ever join you is something we're going to talk about, and I'm going to leave that one alone for a minute. And then how to answer the biggest questions people will always have before joining. And then my promise to you also is to show who your perfect customer is, or your ideal customer. And then we're going to talk about how to profit from those people who tell you no. And so that's my promise to you in this training. And then a little bit of housekeeping. Each video is going to be around 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it around there, maybe a few minutes over, but I'm going to try to be mindful of that. Please take notes, get some paper, and take notes each day. And then if you have questions, write those out. And then I'll make a way for you to be able to get those answered. And then I'm going to do a lot more showing than I am telling. So I'm going to do a lot of drawing on the board and do some diagramming. And then I'm going to show you stuff that your upline has never showed you, probably because they don't know. It's not their fault, you know, and so a lot of people are kind of a purist, I think, when it comes to the MLM or network marketing industry or business, and they feel like things can't change. And so businesses have done that. You know, like Blockbuster is an example. You know, they were the Blockbuster DVD rental business out there, but they did not progress. They did not adjust and really adjust their marketing with the industry or the market. So they're not here anymore. So there's, that's kind of where it's at. The key to focus on when you're talking about your downline is not your product. And this isn't about the product. And so when we go through this training, I want you to keep that in mind. So let's get started. And I'm going to run through some things today. And then also I just want to remind you to whitelist my email so that you will make sure to get the emails that'll be coming to you from this day forward. So why is traditional prospecting dead? And so that's a good question. And prospecting does one of two things. It pushes or it pulls. And so when you're fishing, and you'll hear me use a lot of analogies around fishing because I'm an avid fly fisherman. I love fly fishing. I love being out in the water. There's just everything about it. It's like my self-care. And so I'll use those analogies a lot. But when I'm out fishing in some of my favorite water, there's trophy fish in there, some beasts. You see pictures of 24, 36-inch trout. Those are the kind of waters I love to be in. And when I'm standing out in water, sometimes it's maybe halfway to my knee, and I'm fishing. I will look down and I will see, sometimes 20, 30, 24 to 30-inch trout just swimming around my boots. And I mean, you could literally, it feels like you could reach down and grab one. And what we call those fish are boot grazers, because what happens is when you walk out in the water, it kicks up sediment, and in that sediment, different little bugs and nymphs and things like that, and so they're grazing on that stuff, and that's why we call them boot grazers. But when you look at them, they see you, and if you bend down, they all run away. And so what I'm doing when I look like I'm going to grab one, and it pushes them away. And so people that we work with or that are prospecting feel the same way. So we don't want to push. We want to pull. We want to bring them in. So when I tie a fly on my leader or my tippet and I put it out there and a fish sees that, it takes it because it's enticing. It's the bait. And so when I get them on the hook, I'm able to bring them in and pull them in, and it's much easier and much more productive. So when you're looking at prospecting, I want you to look at it the same way with regards to your lead magnet or the product that you put out there. So part of that was hopefully with you being here, it's kind of evident, but the videos and the free training that I'm providing you was that lead magnet or that bait that brought you in. And so when we talk about people, though, we want to remember that they're human beings, they're not fish, and we're not there to trick them, okay? So we really do always want to provide value. So when you're thinking about value, the thing you want to ask yourself is, what are your customers or what is your market interested in? So you want to help them fix a problem or meet a need. And so you get invited into people's life by providing value, and that gets you invited. So when we talk about the bait or the magnet, that's what we're talking about. So we get invited. So that's that pulling that I'm talking about. They pull you in, you pull them in, and then you're able to start to form a relationship. And so how do you deliver value? That's the question. Well, the instrument, it's not so much the instrument. It's what determines your skill. So what I mean by that is your MLM is your instrument, okay? And so you got to figure out how well you play that instrument will determine your success. So to give you an example, I play the drums, and I play them at church, and I've kind of played them all my life. I'm not that good at it. There's definitely people that are better, but I remember this kid in middle school, and there was like 8 of us in the back row with snare drums, and I had this really nice Ludwig, and it had the brushed silver finish, and I had the transparent head on it, and I had nylon tip sticks, and there was this kid right next to me, and I can't remember his name, but I could see his face, and he got in there, and he had this old rickety case, and he got this drum out that looked like it was back from the 1950s. Probably some old jazz player had it, probably did. And, and he had these sticks that were just, dirty and beat up. And I thought, oh man, you know what, this kid can't play. So we got going, and, and he was about there with the rest of us. But what happened is that as time went on, over just the next couple of weeks, this kid was amazing. He got really good, and he was able to play all the rudiments. He was able to go through all of his rolls, the triplets, the 3-stroke, 5-stroke, all, there was nothing that this kid couldn't do, and he could count perfectly. And so by the end of our first 9 weeks, I'm over here sucking wind, and I've got probably one of the nicest kits there, and or snare drums, and he's got probably the worst one, and I don't even think it was a name brand, but yet he was amazing. And so it wasn't the instrument that made me better or worse, and it wasn't the instrument that made him better or worse. It was his skill and his ability to use that drum, and he made that drum sound amazing. So that's kind of where we're at with our business. And so your upline does not teach you how to market, and they teach you how to teach you how to talk to people, but they'll teach you how to talk to your warm market. So again, those things are outdated, and the top earners in the industry don't make their money that way either. They make their money from people joining, or they make their money from other people bringing people in. And so they the thing about it is that the lifeline of a joiner is someone that decides to try it out. So they might come in and try out the product, and they fail after a few weeks, and so no idea how to market that, or they don't have any idea how to market. And so people that bring them in don't have any way to market what they're doing, and so they get through this cycle, and then they lose hope. The problem is that they don't have any idea how to drive traffic, they have no idea how to make sales, and they have no idea how to generate leads vital to their business and their survival. And so that's when it comes into our skill and our ability to use the instrument. So we want to learn the skills to generate leads online, and the name of this game is leads. So if you don't have any leads, you don't have any business. And whatever you do, don't buy a lead list. People are so tempted to go out and spend $50 on 1 million leads. And so that is a waste of money, and so just don't do it. So as you go through this process, what you want to do is you want to look for people and work with people who are helping and support your process. And so that is kind of what we're doing here, and this is what I want to help you with. I'll show you in a free webinar at the end of this this 5-day training how to take your business to the next level through funnels. And so that is something to look forward to. And I just want to recap what we've gone over today, and I want again to remind you to whitelist your email so that you can find this training tomorrow. I hope that it was helpful. But our recap today was that to get invited to speak to your prospect, you want to do it by providing value first. So remember, it's about them and not about us, or not about you, and it's not about me. Prospecting pushes, marketing pulls. So when we're out there prospecting, and I think I misquoted myself earlier, it doesn't do both. Prospecting pushes and marketing pulls. So we want to do marketing activities that bring people in. And then we want to catch better fish with better bait. So what I mean by that is we want to provide value through the things that we're offering. We also want to, or talked about how to automate through pre-qualified leads. You want to find your target audience. We're going to design a lead funnel that will include giving value. We talked about and are going to work on creating a lead funnel using automation. And then we also want to capture traffic using that bait. Now, one thing I just want to say real quick about traffic, think of it in terms of not something that you create, but something that's already there. So if you're thinking about a busy freeway or highway with tons of cars, bumper to bumper, what you need to do is figure out, how do I get some of those cars off to come to my business? So we create an off-ramp to where some of those cars come off and they go to our business or our funnel. So there's tons of traffic out there. We're going to talk about how to get some of that. And then we want to close those who complete the funnel. Now, our uplines don't teach this, and they don't teach us how to market or to do lead generation. And so stop blaming your instrument, okay? So it's not your instrument, it's not your upline. We're not here to blame anybody. We're just here to learn how to use our instrument and to learn how to use what's at our disposal more effectively. So tomorrow I'm going to show you the 2 skills that will show you how to put the most money in your pocket. How do you think like a marketer and see things differently? And how do you figure out your perfect target audience? Those are the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day. See you then.